John Cena's final time in Massachusetts. Bailey returned. We had women that can't speak English. And once again, the main event men in WWE are getting emasculated. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Lots to talk about, but unfortunately, none of it good. So where do we start? Honestly, I kind of just want to start with the whole CM Punk Seth Rollins thing, because more so CM Punk, but Seth Rollins tonight as well got slapped around, didn't do nothing apart from stand there like a dumb bitch. And then CM Punk, just like he took, 20 million slaps off Becky a couple of weeks ago. I mean, tonight he only took about 15, but still, that's 15 way too many. It's embarrassing. It is honestly embarrassing how WWE treats their male, and not just like any male wrestler, not like jobber male wrestlers. These are two of their top guys, and they literally treat them like they're fucking nobodies. It's actually insane. I mean, CM Punk getting slapped, getting beat around again by Becky Lynch in front of his wife, who's been laid out with her neck injury. His wife is laying there, and you've got Becky Lynch in his face, mocking him, laughing about his wife, and then slapping him. And Punk just stands there and takes it like a dumbass. This is crazy. Honestly, I don't know why they're doing this. They just need to keep women and men away from each other in WWE, because they can't book this shit. And if the answer for WWE is simply just have contact every time there's a man and a woman, and it's always the woman initiating contact, and the man's not, like, why can't CM Punk block a slap? Would it be considered abuse? Would it be considered misogyny? Like CM Punk can't even stop Becky Lynch. He can't even defend himself. He can't even prevent Becky Lynch from slapping him. It makes no fucking sense. Honestly, this is dumb. Seriously, guys, if you're out in the street and some woman gets in your face and she starts slapping you, I mean, maybe you'll let the first one go, but at what point do you just, like, fucking stick up for yourself? And if you're not going to deck her, act like a man, you get treated like a man, in my opinion. But if you're not going to, like, fucking hit her back, surely at some point you at least defend yourself. You block the attack. You grab her arm. You restrain her. You do something. But not in WWE. That doesn't happen. So honestly, I just don't get it. I don't believe it. Again, they've said the reason for this is, we don't want male on female violence because it can promote domestic abuse, and it can promote that, men hitting women is okay. And I remember, I think it was Triple H talking about this once, and it's like, wait, so let's say it doesn't make any sense to me. Let's say you've got two siblings, brother and sister, growing up watching wrestling. The logic is we can't have men hit women or do fake wrestling. It's all fake at the end of the day, so it's all dumb. It makes no sense as to why it's not like real combat sport. It's a fake fight, so, I mean, the men should be able to do whatever they want, just like when Rock would hit a rock bottom or Austin would stunner somebody. It's not a big fucking deal, but for some reason they pretend it is. But let's say you've got this where the women are always hitting the men, and I remember when Scarlett Bordeaux was literally setting Drew McIntyre on fire, and like, poisoning him and putting all these, like, crazy things in his eyes, and he would just stand there and take it like a dumbass, because he couldn't do anything. He couldn't prevent her from doing it, because I'm a big 6'6" sexy Scotsman and you're 5' Scarlett. I can't do nothing or else I'm going to be in trouble. But it's retarded. But anyway, back to my point. So, Triple H once did say, we don't want to promote domestic abuse, and also we don't want to suggest that it's okay for boys to hit girls or shit like this. But what about siblings that are watching wrestling? And you've got one male. Jesus Christ. Let me take a drink, guys, my Iron Brew, which is not sponsoring the YouTube channel. But if somebody wants to sponsor and pay me to watch this shit, then please do. But let me take a drink here. It's been a long night. A long night of ranting. But yeah, let me get back to my point. So, you've got siblings watching the show. A brother and sister. And it doesn't really matter what age they are, but let's say they are, I don't know, kids or early teens. Doesn't really matter. They're watching Raw together. And they're seeing Becky Lynch beat up CM Punk, and CM Punk just taking it, just accepting it. And they see AJ Lee slapping Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is just taking it and just accepting it. Triple H says that you can't have men hit women because that's going to promote that it's okay for boys to hit girls in real life. So if you're getting women hitting men in WWE, is that not going to promote violence in real life for girls against boys? Is that not going to promote that it's okay for that sister to hit her brother, and her brother just needs to like stand there and take it and accept it because he is a male and she's a female? You see how it just doesn't work? It's fucking retarded. So if a man hitting a woman on wrestling or doing a move to a woman, if that somehow promotes violence against women and could lead to, boys trying it, then what about all these like weapon shots we've seen? Like, what about these like chair shots or sledgehammer shots? If CM Punk can't hit Becky Lynch with a GTS in case some boy hits a GTS on a girl in real life, then how the fuck can you have these hardcore matches where people are getting hit like with steel chairs? Doesn't that mean that even if it's two guys, even if CM Punk hits Seth Rollins with a chair, isn't that promoting violence? Doesn't that mean that some kid could go into his classroom and pick up a chair and whack his fellow male classmate over the head with it or some shit like that? You see how it doesn't work? It's dumb. If people are going to be violent in real life, they're going to be violent in real life. It doesn't matter what WWE are doing. So this whole logic where, we can't have this happen or we can't have that happen because it's going to promote this or promote that, that's retarded. It's like blaming video games on people being violent or whatnot. It's just dumb, and it's lazy, and it's making excuses, and it's just not taking accountability. But anyway, that was a bit of a long-winded rant. Let's get into this show. John Cena kicks off, talks about Brock Lesnar. It was a weird Cena promo. I didn't really like it, but I guess this is his last time in Massachusetts since they've changed the location of Saturday night main event. So yeah, somebody had a sign that said "My jorts are stronger than your jeans," and Cena referenced it. He was talking about how he's scared of Brock Lesnar, and he fears Brock Lesnar, but he's Big Match John. He never gives up, and therefore he could go backstage, he could do some backstage politicking and get himself out the match, but he's not going to. He's going to face Brock at WrestlePalooza, and that was basically that. So, yeah, there you go. That was your Cena promo. Honestly, wasn't great. I was disappointed in John Cena. I expected more. Right, speaking of disappointment, up next, we got Roxanne Perez, the best ass in WWE, or at least one of them, for sure. For sure. We also had Adam Pearce backstage before that, talking with Jey Uso and LA Knight. LA Knight tried to fight Jey Uso in the parking lot. Adam Pearce threatened to suspend him and give him a big massive fine. Then LA Knight got booked in a tag team match, and he said he wants to pick Jimmy Uso as his partner. This pissed off Jey, but I mean, in reality, who cares? Do we care if Jimmy Uso teams up with LA Knight? I certainly don't. I mean, I don't want to see any matches. I personally couldn't give a shit who teams up with who. But yeah, it just doesn't really make much sense to me because we're getting this match at WrestlePalooza, this tag team match. So why are you giving us a tag team match tonight? Just it didn't really make any sense to me. But whatever. So we then get Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria defeats Roxanne Perez. Not sure why, to be fair. I think Roxanne Perez is better than Lyra Valkyria. She looks better. Anyway, that's for sure. That's all that matters at the end of the fucking day. Let's be honest. Right. End of the match here, you've got a double team. Rodriguez comes down, and then Bayley makes the save. So Bayley's back. It's 2-on-2. Bayley's coming out, and I just don't get it. People say, "Oh, Bayley's a goddess. Bayley's this." I would travel 1,000 miles to lick Bayley's fucking hairy armpits. It's like, why? I just don't look. I just look at Bayley, and she just looks like some. I mean, I'm not gonna say she's not fat. I can't call her fat. That would be a lie. What? I'm not gonna call her big boned either. All right, let's take the weight out. But she looks like she's got a fat face. Okay, I mean, body wise, she's hot or whatnot, but she doesn't look that attractive. It is what it is. I mean, I just don't really understand the love for Bayley. I think she looks like a big SJW now. Does she look like more attractive than the normal liberal SJW? I mean, I guess so, but I just never understood. People are pretending that Bayley is hotter than prime Stacy Keibler, and that always bothers me because she's just quite clearly not, but whatever. We then got Io Sky backstage. They're doing the contract signing thing. So Adam Pearce has got a contract. Io and Fakir are talking to each other. You can barely make it out. It's like the most broken English you'll ever see. It just really wasn't any good at all. Fucking garbage. I respect you. I hope the best woman win. Io's like, "Oh, but me the best woman, I will win at WrestlePalooza." And then we get Kairi Sane and what's her name? Asuka. Oh, nobody ready for Asuka! Nobody ready for Asuka! It's like, right, nobody's ready for Asuka. We hear this shite every single week. So it's Asuka challenging Fakir, and then it leads to, I don't even know what it leads to. It leads to nothing. How about that? How about that? It leads to absolutely nothing. We get a match later on the night between Kairi Sane and Stephanie Fakir. I can't wait for that one. That's totally going to make me not fall asleep tonight. Right, then LA Knight asks Jimmy to be his tag team partner. Jimmy tells LA he needs to find somebody else. Penta then takes on Kofi Kingston. Penta wins with the El Jobber Canadian Mexican Destroyer. I don't. Why is that Canadian? That just doesn't make it. But if an American does a German suplex, it's not called an American. Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe it should be. Maybe it should be. I just don't like this Mexican guy. Or I say Mexican guy. I don't like 95% of the fucking roster hitting Canadian Destroyers. I liked it when Petey Williams hit the Canadian Destroyer, because guess what? He was Canadian. It was his move. It was a finishing move. Nobody kicked out of it. And it made sense to call it the Canadian Destroyer, because it was a Canadian doing it, and he was destroying someone. But none of this shit, why are all these people just stealing the fucking move and calling it by the same name that the other guy called it? It doesn't make any sense. It's like when somebody does a stunner and they call it the Stone Cold Stunner. It's like, no, Stone Cold does the Stone Cold Stunner. You don't do the Stone Cold fucking Stunner. It's like if someone does the bounce off the ropes and the elbow drop, that's not the people's elbow. It's only the people's elbow if the Rock's doing it. If some jabroni's doing it, then it's just an elbow drop. The jabroni elbow drop, the jabroni elbow or whatnot. But yeah, anyway. Then Jimmy Uso and Jay argue a little bit, and then Jay says to Jimmy, "Yeah, you can be his partner if you want. Just bullshit and nobody cares about." Right. So up next, I got the mixed tag team segment. This was bad. So Seth Rollins comes out first. Then he points to his wife. His wife comes out and it's like, "You're the world fucking champion, and your wife's coming out like second. That's embarrassing." They get to the ring, and then speaking of the ultimate embarrassment, CM Punk comes out with his wife's music playing, and it's even worse. It gets even worse. He's wearing his wife's clothes. CM Punk comes down wearing an AJ Lee t-shirt. Well, AJ Lee's light it up. Anyway, somebody needs to light up CM Punk. See if he's still got any of those grapefruits down there. So they get in the ring. They cut some promos. CM Punk references the fact that he left Cult of Personality to the side because him and his wife are a team. Then we get just some generic shit. Becky Lynch then says to AJ Lee, "Oh, CM Punk's a quitter. He leaves." Or Seth Rollins said that he leaves things behind that he doesn't like or things that fail him. He was referencing to WWE in Punk's first stint. So he reckons that WWE failed Punk, so Punk left WWE, and if AJ Lee fails Punk at WrestlePalooza, Seth Rollins says that Punk will leave her. AJ then slaps Seth Rollins. Rollins wants Becky Lynch to do something about it. She's like, I ain't doing something about it. They argue. Becky gets out the ring. Then CM Punk confronts Rollins. Rollins pie faces Punk. Punk chases Rollins outside the ring. Then Becky gets in the ring, hits the manhandle slam on AJ Lee. Punk gets in the ring to check on his wife because she's got this neck injury and she's got neck problems. And while he's checking on his wife, Becky Lynch gets right in his fucking face, right over his wife as well. And at this point, it's like, not only has she done this move to your wife, not only is she in your face mocking you and laughing about the fact that she's done this move, but she's also like in close proximity of your wife with the injured neck. And does CM Punk get rid of her? Does CM Punk move Becky Lynch? No, he does fuck all. He stands up, he looks at Becky, and then Becky slaps him a couple more times before exiting the ring. And it's like, what a cuck. Can you imagine? Imagine if you were out in the street with your wife and some woman came up and slammed your wife down and you're checking on your wife and then this person that slammed your wife down came up and got in your face and was like leaning over your injured wife and then proceeded to laugh and mock you and make fun of the fact that she's hurt your wife and then slap you a couple more times for good measure. Would you simply just take that? If the answer's yes, then you're a fucking loser. You've been emasculated. It's as simple as that. If CM Punk isn't going to defend himself, then that's one thing. But the guy didn't even defend his wife here. And he's supposed to love his wife. He came out to his wife's music. He came out wearing his wife's t-shirt. But he couldn't help his wife. He couldn't defend his wife from Becky Lynch. Because he's supposedly a man. And I use that term loosely. He's a man. And Becky Lynch is a woman, you know. Just absolute fucking garbage. And you cannot take the male wrestlers seriously in WWE anymore. They have been emasculated 100%. There's not a nutsack between them. It's as simple as that. Right. What did we get after this? I can't even remember, to be fair. What did we get after this? Well, it was... I can't even remember, actually. What did we get? I'm trying to think, guys. Alright, we got Dragon Lee versus El Grande. Move on. I mean, what do you want me to say? El Grande versus Dragon... Who in the world gives a shit? There was 3 El Grande Americanos. If this was an interesting story or an interesting character, then maybe we would give a shit. Could you imagine if we had like 3 Hulk Hogans or 3 Stone Colds or 3 Rocks or 3 Undertakers? That would be great. But nobody gives a fuck about 3 El Grande Americanos. So, aye. Then we get Rhea Ripley talking to Stephanie Fakir. Wished her good luck. I don't really care. I mean, what the fuck's this all about? Then we get Fakir versus Kairi Sane. At the end of the gate, Fakir wins. Asuka gets involved at the end. Asuka wants to fight Fakir, but then Io gets in the ring and she stops it from happening. And then Io and Fakir go face to face. And I mean, who cares? This is bad. This is really, really bad, right? Then we get Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed taking on we also got the Judgment Day backstage. Rusev came in. I am God. I am Russian. I am Bulgarian. I am Jobber. Who gives a shit? Rusev says he's going to be the next Intercontinental Champion. Let's hope not. What else did we get? We got more Asuka bickering backstage. Oh man, I can't. Obviously they're going to have an Asuka versus Io Sky match, and Asuka's probably going to cost Io the belt. It's really bad. It's really bad. And then we move into the main event. LA Knight and Jimmy Uso taking on the Vision. The Vision win. LA Knight then saves the Usos at the end. but then he hits Jay with the skull crushing finale or whatever he calls it. I don't know what he calls it. Blunt force trauma. That's what I feel like I've got. I feel like I've got blunt force trauma watching this shit. And that was pretty much it, guys. That was your show. Boring, predictable. I mean, we all knew that LA Knight was going to get his revenge on Jey Uso by hitting his move after Jey Uso done him dirty a week ago. Nothing was unpredictable in this show. Straight up garbage. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. Honestly, even the Cena promo was disappointing. CM Punk and Seth Rollins both emasculated. What's the point? Why are we watching this? I don't know. But yeah, I thought it sucked. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know your thoughts down below. And that's it, guys. Fog Wrestling. There's channel memberships if you're interested and you want to help out the channel and you want to help us out financially and help us ease the pain of watching this shite, then feel free to set up a membership and yeah, we'll give you some good content, or at least we'll try to. Till next time. Peace.